For the win! Yes! Yes! Oh! Unbelievable!
Welcome back, everybody. This is Sharpsiders. I'm Jay Daniels. I've got Eddie Wayne with me again. Today, we're going to spin off of the last video. We're going to talk to you about NFL 2015 season over-under total wins. The last video, I gave you a free pick with the Tennessee Titans over 5. That was a team that I felt is going to have a good season. This video, Eddie Wayne's going to tell you about a team that he likes. So, Eddie, I know you're eager to talk about him. Why don't you start us off?
Yeah, this one I might get a little bit of criticism out there from all the Steeler Nation. Unfortunately, I got them going under the 8.5 wins that they are at right now. So I know that the Steelers have a big fan group out there, big fan base. So this might not settle too well with too many bettors out there. But when you look at their team, they've lost a lot on defense, and that's what wins you games in the end. They lost Troy Polamalu, who was a big leader. I know he was injured much last season. Same with Ike Taylor, who's also gone. But the big key that they lost is Dick Lebeau, their defensive coordinator. He's pretty much what made that engine run on defense was Dick Lebeau, and we know how much those guys love playing for him. I think that's going to be the biggest loss for this team altogether. And when you look at this year's schedule, they play a really tough schedule. They go all the way out to the West Coast twice. They play both the AFC West and the NFC West. Mm-hmm. So that's 4 trips right there that you got to go all the way across the country to go play those teams. And plus, you know, they play in a tough division themselves. I mean, all 3 of those teams won 10 games last year, or 10 plus, and they have to play them, 6 games out of the year. So I think they'll probably split in their division, end up 3-3, maybe a sweep here and there, split everything. And then when you look at those West Coast trips, that's really going to be tough to them to at least pull out 2 games at most. I don't think they win more than 2. Probably the most likely scenario is they win 1 out of those 4 games all the way out west. So right there you got 6 losses, and then they do have a tough home schedule. They got to play New England as well opener of the season. That could be another loss. Right. And then a few other teams like Indy and Denver that come there late in the season. So
yeah, well, I think I have to agree with you, and I like how you mentioned the Dick LeBeau. That was a reason why I went with Tennessee, because Dick LeBeau came over to Tennessee. But, like you mentioned with the 4 games out west, they got, a couple that I'm looking at right here, San Diego, Kansas City, at Seahawks. They're those 3 games right there, they lose those. And like you said, they split 3-3. That's 6 games right there. They only need to lose, 2 more games. And there's your under your win total. Look, I like how you mentioned this schedule. I was looking back at the last couple of seasons, and last year they actually went 11-5. And then the 2 years before that they split 8-8. So this season their schedule is much harder than last season. Last season they had a very easy schedule, and they went 11-5. So this season with a tougher schedule, if they split 8-8 like they did the 2 previous seasons, there's under 8.5 right there.
Point that you bring up, because you look at that schedule last year, they played the 2 weakest divisions in football, and I think that's part of the reason why their division themselves was a little bit inflated with all those win totals. The 3 teams going over 10 wins. You look at the AFC South, you get the Jags and Titans. That's 2 automatic wins right there, and then they ended up they beat the Texans, who they're an average football team. And then Ben Roethlisberger played the game of his life against the Colts when he threw for 6 touchdown passes that game. So they also played the NFC South last season, which we all know was the worst division in football, with a team that won the division with a 7-8-1 record. So you really got to take it with a grain of salt when you look at that schedule last season and wonder how good this team was.
I definitely agree with you. So why don't you go ahead and make this official for all our viewers?
Yeah, so Steeler Nation, I apologize right now. I'm going to take your team to go under the 8.5 wins this season for the 2015 NFL football season. We're going to go under 8.5 wins for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right, well, Eddie, I like it, and that's going to wrap it up for us here at Sharpsiders. If you'd like to follow Eddie or myself, I'll post the links for our Twitter right down below. Myself is at @JDaniels_SS. And Eddie's is at EddieWayneSS. If you want to purchase any of our picks, we have an email account. It's sharpsiders@yahoo.com. Again, I'll post it right down below me. We like to keep the picks reasonable, $10 to $20. We have our working on our site, and it's going to be up hopefully by the end of this week. Once it's up, you can contact us on the site. There'll be a link to contact us, as well as you can purchase the picks directly from the site. The site will be sharpsiders.com. But until then, you can just email us at the Yahoo account. Like I said, it's going to do it for us here at Sharpsiders. Thank you for watching, and until next time, happy betting.
For the win! Yes! Yes!